Hi YouTube, this is Chris, K2CJB with K2CJB Radio. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a little unboxing. I got myself a little Christmas present this year. You know, I sold something on eBay, so I figured, hey, if you sell something on eBay, you have to buy something on eBay. So from a place called Let's Get Ready, to store out in California, in Los Angeles, an eBay store, I bought this, a TYT TH-350. It's a tri-band HT. So it does 2 meters, 440, but it also does 220. And never in the years I've been a ham have I operated on 220. I know there's a local repeater that does have some activity. I've heard it on one of my scanners, so that's what gave me the idea to go ahead and buy this. So it wasn't very expensive. None of these Chinese radios are, as we know. So let's open it up and see what we find inside. Well, let's see. We got a card from our friends at Let's Get Ready. So we'll make sure we'll thank him for the radio when it comes to get things going. There's a okay, some sort of verification tag. Okay, this is probably like some sort of something that they didn't make it into the manual probably. Here's the manual. Quick look. All right, it looks like it might be in fairly well translated English from what I can see. A couple of sentences I've read, so let's go a little further in. I notice radio comes with 2 antennas. One is for 2 meters and 440, and one is for 220. However, I know that with Let's Get Ready, they sell you a tri-band antenna to go with it. So here's the AC adapter for the drop-in charger. Here's the said drop-in charger. Not charging, this is the programming cable. Oh, aha. All right. Gotta see what's on this. And here's the battery. Of course, here's the radio itself. And under here is the belt clip. Now we know these days the belt clips on these Chinese radios get mounted on the battery. Probably not a good idea because if you need to get another battery, you got to move the belt clip or get another belt clip. But here's the little treat you get when you order this from our friends at Let's Get Ready. You get a tri-band antenna to go with it. 144, 220, and 440 megahertz. So we will we'll pause for a moment and we'll put things together and start getting some initial impressions. All right, well, let's get the radio out of its plastic package first. Does anybody eat this or have a thought to eat this? I always get a kick out of why it says do not eat. Actually, somebody did explain to me one time there is actually a reason why they put that there, and it's not, believe it or not, it's not because of some sort of poisonous reaction to it. I don't know. All right, here's the battery pack. We'll put the belt clip on later. That's another, I think, a great question we should pose to all our YouTube channel folks. Is do you carry an HT with you? And if you do you use the belt clip or do you carry it another way? Right? Okay. I'm going to go right ahead and put this antenna on it because I don't see me using the other ones at all. I don't see me swapping antennas around if I don't have to. They'll go into the junk drawer with all the other spare things and goodies and odds and ends that we all seem to accumulate in our radio world. All right, so we'll mount the antenna. Always make sure you have an antenna on a radio before you turn it on. You just never know. All right, just for laughs. Hey, it woke up. All right. Since I don't know the first thing about how to program or fly this thing, me turning knobs is not really going to make a difference, is it now? But I see some sort of an arrow. All right, well, seems like I've got to read. Oh, I see something's changing over here. It does have some sort of a charge on it. Well, there are things programmed into it. Okay. Well, what we will do is play around with it some more. I'll tell you what, initial feeling, it feels pretty sturdy. It doesn't feel cheap. I'm twisting it. I'm not hearing any kind of squeaks or rattles, so there's a volume control at top and some sort of big old selector button here. And push to talk. We got some probably function buttons on the side here. So, hey, I'm going to keep playing with this and let's see what else we can do with it. Well, actually, before I go any further, I'm going to do what everybody loves to see. And this is for my friend Mike, K8MRD from K8MRD Radio Stuff. I'm going to peel off the plastic on the display. Here it comes. There you go. Now we have a brandy new radio. All right, let's read the book and see if we can do something with it. All right, we've done some some configuring. It took me about a half hour to get myself to this point. What you're looking at here is actually repeaterbook.com. How to install the driver, how to install the software, and also you have to change the language setting. When it comes up in Chinese. So they give you a little JPEG to show you where to go, what to do, because it's not in English when it first comes up. I don't know how well this is showing up on the camera. Probably not all that well. Let me try to zoom in a little bit, see if that helps. But essentially, I mean, it kind of works a little bit like Chirp. There's one thing in it that I really don't like, and what that is you cannot, at least from what I can see, you cannot program in the offsets automatically. You have to calculate the offsets. You put in your received frequency, then your transmit, so you got to do your offset calculations on your own. So just a heads up there, you have to do that. So I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put in one of our local machines that's pretty popular on UHF. I've already programmed in some 2-meter machines, a couple of 220 machines, and now I'm putting in a 440 machine that is in our neighborhood here. Let me get all the information on it. I had it written down. Okay, it's 447.125. This particular machine does not use a PL, so we'll turn that off. And it's minus offset 5 megahertz, 442.125. And that's it. So I'm going to stop there. I've got 6 things programmed in. I want to just see how this works. I'm going to save it. I created a folder for the TYT on the desktop. Let me find it. There it is. I'm just going to stick it in there for now. Call it channels. Right. Oops. Looks like we didn't get that. Okay. Now it's in, and we'll save it. Okay. Now, to program it, it's like any other thing. You just write to the radio. I've got the cable already hooked up. You go through this process when you're setting the radio up, setting all the software up. It tells you when to plug things in and when not to plug them in and that kind of thing. So right now, radio's powered up. And it won't do anything, by the way, to hit OK. So there it goes. It's writing to the radio. So the next thing we'll see is, we'll see if this worked. All right, the radio lit up. So I'm going to stop the camera for a second, and then I will key the radio up and see what happens. So I can tell you now that when you take this cover on and off to hook up the programming cable, this is tight, and the connector that goes inside there is very, very tight. So be prepared for that. You really have to push the connector in and make a good contact. So you'll notice too the light doesn't stay on without you having to do something with it. I'm always afraid when I'm changing the frequency I'm on. So you can see on the top, I don't know if it's showing up on the camera or not. Maybe not, it might be too bright. The top, there's 3, now you can see, there's 3 sets of frequencies in there. The top one is the one that's, I'm going to say, active. So I tried the 220 machine that's kind of near me, and it's not keying it up. But I have to go outside and try it. I may have the wrong PL on it too, I don't know. But I'm going to go here and show you that we are bringing up a machine. That machine is not too far from here either. So look, I'm inside, I'm downstairs in the house. So we're trying it. The radio works. So now the next thing is to really just start using it and playing around with it. I'm not crazy about the way it gets programmed without the offsets being automatically set up for you in the software. That kind of bothers me. That's kind of cumbersome. But other than that, it's an HT, right? So the next thing I'll do with it is to do, like I did with that Baofeng, I'll do some testing on the quality output of the output and see if there's any harmonics or anything like that we have to worry about. And then we'll just start using it. So there you go. This is a TYT TH-350. It's the first pass on the radio, and it seems to be okay so far. We haven't done a whole lot with it, so we'll do more and do another follow-up video with it. A couple of quick comments before we wrap up the video. I did take it outside. I tried to key up the 220 machine. I thought it was pretty local. I wasn't able to key it up, so I'll have to keep playing around with it a little more and see if we can make it work. Another thing, I don't see an easy way to program it from the radio itself. So you really got to get it connected to the computer and program it that way. I'm not crazy about that idea with an HT, but I think that's the way of the world these days, right? So we have to kind of live with that. Also, it comes with the Prolific chipset in the USB connector. So I know there's a lot of folks that talk about that. What chip does it use for the programming cable? It's the Prolific chipset. That's the driver, and that's the software that loads up when you install it on a computer. So there you go. It's the TYT TH-350. If this helps you out, let me know. Leave a couple of comments below if you have this radio and maybe there's something I'm doing wrong with programming it. And get a dialogue going on the radio. Let's talk about it. If the video helped you, then think about subscribing, clicking the bell. That would be a big help for me. So until next time, 73 K2CJB.